So I'm now in the daylight. This side obviously is the Max Factor Miracle Touch Foundation. On this side we have the Kat Von D Good Apple Foundation. I do think that the Max Factor foundation is a dupe for the Kat Von D foundation. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So I am sure, unless you've been living under a rock, you've all heard of the Kat Von D KVD Beauty Foundation that has been doing the rounds on social media. Everyone has been using it and it looks unbelievable. It's a compact foundation and it is super full coverage, and the finish looks gorgeous. It just looks amazing, and yeah, everyone on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere is just going crazy for this foundation. I've obviously seen this and I thought, this looks very similar to a foundation I used to use probably 10 years ago. It looks exactly like the Max Factor Miracle Touch foundation that I used to use. So in this video, I am going to be testing the KVD Good Apple foundation on one side and the Max Factor Miracle Touch foundation on the other side to see whether the Max Factor foundation is a dupe for KVD, because honestly, there's so many similarities between the two foundations. Like, obviously they both come in a pan, they've got some similar ingredients, the way you sort of are meant to apply it looks the same, and the coverage also looks the same. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be testing in today's video, because I think we may have found a dupe that is literally half price. So yeah, let me just start off by sort of talking through both of the foundations so you can see how like similar they are in the descriptions. So this is the KVD Beauty Good Apple Skin Perfecting Balm, and it says that this is a buildable full coverage hydrating foundation balm with a lightweight long wear formula and a fresh matte finish. Infused with apple extract to help nourish skin, Good Apple minimises the appearance of pores and gives skin a smooth, healthy look. Plus, it's non-comedogenic. Google it if you want to know what that word is, because don't look at me to pronounce it right. Non-comedogenic. Whatever. This non-cakey, flashback-free foundation quickly covers blemishes and discoloration for an instant confidence boost. Also, let me just say, my nails are an absolute disgrace. I've put fake tan on and it's all in my nails and has made them look brown, like I am literally like the Wicked Witch of the West. So just ignore that, because yes, I know they look horrible, but it's fake tan, so I can't get it off, and yeah, let's just ignore that. Moving on to the Max Factor Miracle Touch foundation. So, lightweight solid formula becomes liquid with the warmth of your fingers. It reduces the appearance of pores, skin discoloration, blemishes without setting into fine lines and wrinkles. It leaves skin feeling and looking moisturised and revitalises the look of dry and dull skin. So already that's very similar to what the Kat Von D foundation does. It also says it's suitable for all skin types, including sensitive skin, and is non-comedogenic. Oh, I think I said it right that time. Very proud of myself there. Non-comedogenic, so it won't clog pores. So the descriptions are basically the same. Like, if you put those descriptions side by side, it's basically the same foundation. KVD foundation comes in 40 shades, which is obviously amazing. That's a great shade range, so yeah, that's really good. Max Factor comes in 12 shades. Yeah, that's really not good. Actually, I only noticed that just now when I researched the shades for this video, and yeah, 12 shades. There's only 12 shades available on the Boots website, so yeah, shade range on this is really not good. Kat Von D, you get 10 grams of product, so a lot of people are saying that that's not a lot, but judging by the videos I've seen, you literally need one swipe of this foundation, so with Max Factor you get 11.5 grams of product, so really not that much difference, only 1.5 grams, so pretty similar in the amount of product. Now the biggest thing is that the Kat Von D foundation comes in at £29, whereas the Max Factor foundation is only $14.99. So it's $14.99 and you get a little bit more product. Kat Von D, it says that you get no flashback, but I think that's because there's no SPF, because SPF is usually what gives or what makes a product have flashback when you take flash photography. And I can't find this information anywhere whether or not it does have an SPF, so I don't think it does, otherwise they would mention it. But then Max Factor does have SPF 30, which obviously is really good, but it might then give you some flashback, but I'll test that later. So that's all the key facts about the product. So now let's get into actually trying them and testing them out and seeing if they are in fact the same and whether we can say the Max Factor foundation is a dupe for the Kat Von D Good Apple foundation. So I'm just going to start off by moisturising my skin. I'm going to be using the Wishful Skincare by Huda Beauty moisturiser. Also, can you see this little patch here where I didn't fake tan? I don't know why I would ever do that, Pers. Why would I ever do that? I don't know, but I just did. But yeah, I didn't fake tan that patch by accident. I'm just gonna clip my hair back to make this easier. So I've got the two foundations here. One thing I actually do need to say as well is that I picked these foundations up online, and obviously it's really hard to match your shade online, and especially when trying to match yourself and then get two foundations that are the same colour. So yeah, so you can see here I've got the Max Factor foundation in the shade Bronze, and it's like this sort of colour. But then in Good Apple I got Medium 054, which is this colour. So they are slightly different, but to be honest, the shade difference isn't too bad. Like, they are a bit different, but not too bad. So we'll start off with Max Factor. So it says how to use. Warm the foundation between fingertips before dotting over the skin. Use a foundation brush, sponge, or fingertips to blend formula. Okay, so let's go. Ooh, yeah, I can tell it's taking some time to sort of warm that up, but I'm gonna do this side Max Factor and this side Good Apple. That colour actually isn't too bad. I've zoomed you all the way in now, so yeah. Hello. That was really creepy. What is wrong with me? I don't know. As you can see, I've got like a breakout there as well. So I'm gonna cover that. And then I think what I'm gonna do is maybe the bottom half of my face with a brush. Oh, also, sorry guys, I forgot to say. So I've got two brushes which are basically the same. They are just like dense foundation brushes. And then I've also got two Real Technique sponges, so that it's like an equal test on each side. So I'm gonna just go in and pat that with a brush. So that is actually very matte once it's blended in. Actually, I'm gonna go in with the sponge instead, just because I would normally always use a sponge to apply my foundation, but I do really like the finish of this. I'm just gonna put a little bit more under my eye. I think it is really, really nice. It also looks like it's like sitting on my skin nicely. It doesn't feel heavy at all. I have actually got like a sheen as well. I think it's more of like a demi matte foundation, but I do like the way it looks. It's like not sticky at all, and I think the coverage is really nice, so I am definitely impressed with that. I think it looks really good. So next up is the Good Apple foundation. I'm actually so excited to try this. So I did see everyone like getting a brush and just swirling that in the foundation and like painting their face, and it just looked wow. So I'm gonna get my brush and just do a little swirl, and let's see what this looks like. Wow. Oh my gosh. That is so full coverage. It feels like silk. Like, actually feels like amazing. Wow. And that's one swipe is literally going so far. Like the coverage of that one swipe, that has genuinely made my skin like flawless. I'm just comparing both sides to see. So interesting because they actually do look pretty similar on the skin. I'm actually going to go back in with Max Factor on this side and just actually try dipping the brush in the pan like I did with Good Apple, just so we can see if that is going to make any difference at all. Oh wow, that is definitely okay. Whoa. Okay, so that's actually the same. That has gone on the same as the Good Apple foundation when I put the brush in the pan first. It's weird though because the Max Factor instructions tell you to dot it on with your fingers, but okay, Max Factor. That coverage of the Max Factor one, and I guess you can tell like the Good Apple is a way better shade for me than the Max Factor one. The Max Factor one is definitely too ashy and too light, whereas the Good Apple one is like the actual perfect shade, but it's fine. Okay, so actually Max Factor at the moment is looking just as good now that I've gone in with the brush. Let me just do my forehead with the Good Apple. Just put a little bit more. Oh my gosh, that's literally like so full coverage. This is like night out foundation, like perfect night out foundation, to be fair. It just feels so smooth, but then again with the brush, like they both feel really smooth. I wouldn't say one feels smoother than the other. Guys, I think this may actually be a dupe. Like I think it is. So I'm just gonna go over all of that with my sponge. As you can see, I've like ruined half my eyebrow, but I'll go back over that. And I'm gonna get my other sponge to go on the other side. Let me quickly sort my eyebrow out. Okay guys, so I am very impressed. So this side is the Max Factor Miracle Touch foundation. I'll actually just zoom you all the way in. I actually think that the Max Factor one is a dupe. It looks the same to me. Like, let me know in the comments what you guys think, but to me I think it looks exactly the same. Obviously I know I've already said the shade it's not the right shade, the Max Factor one, but apart from that it really looks incredible, and it looks so similar to Kat Von D, and it is half the price, so whew. So I'm just gonna do the rest of my base makeup like I normally would, just to see how the foundations sort of react to all the other products that I'm going to use and that I normally use. So going in with the Maybelline, why would I hit myself with it? The Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 20. And I'm only gonna actually put a little bit of this on because this foundation is so full coverage, both foundations, that I really don't need a lot. Also, is anyone else getting like hooked into all these like trends that you see on Instagram of people only putting their concealer like here and here? Like, I am so easily like brainwashed. I see one video of like, you should put it here because you'll look better, and I'm like, okay. I don't know whether anyone else is like that, because I personally didn't mind the whole triangle situation, but if Instagram tells me to do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm joking, but then I'm like, I'm not really joking because I'm doing it. Anyway, let me get on with it. Okay, so with Max Factor, concealer has gone on really nicely. I'm just gonna twizzle the sponge to a different side to do the other side because I can't be bothered to keep switching between two sponges, to be quite honest. I started running this week, guys. I went for a 4K run on Monday and Tuesday, and then my legs hurt Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so I didn't, but then I did go today, this morning. And then when I got in, I ate a bacon and hash brown sandwich. Balance, it's all about balance. And to be fair, normally I would have eaten the bacon and hash brown sandwich and wouldn't have run, so it's still an improvement. Also, if my mum is watching this video, you'll remember that Miracle Touch foundation, that Max Factor one. You must have bought me it like literally 10 years ago. Okay, so concealer has gone on really nicely on both sides. Looks good with both foundations, so that's good. I set that using my Coty Airspun. It's the one and only loose powder. If you don't have it, get it. It's on Amazon. It's amazing. It's cheap. It's just the best. I've actually done this in a really random order today, so forgive me, because I'm now going to cream contour even though I just put that powder on, but it's fine because I only brought the powder to like there, so shouldn't be an issue. And then to cream contour, I'm using my Rimmel Lasting Matte Concealer. Okay, so that just looks good. That's just how it normally would look, so I'm happy with that. So I'm now just gonna powder my whole face with just the same Coty Airspun powder. I normally do this just to set my whole face before I do any bronzer or anything. I actually can't believe that Max Factor foundation, honestly, like this side compared to this side, there's no difference, like it is an actual dupe. So I'm gonna bronze with just my usual Hoola bronzer. Everything is going on really nicely, just as it would do with my normal routine. And then I'm actually just gonna put some blusher on. So this is just a Barry M quad that I absolutely love. I always go for this like peachy shade here. I think this is really nice. Just put a little bit of that on. Say a little bit and then I proceed to put on absolutely loads. What is next? Ooh, some highlight. So this is the Revolution Reloaded Erase the Bar highlight. I just put a little bit on the tip of my nose and then rub that in, a little bit down the bridge. So I'm just gonna put some product on my lips. I've got the Gosh Lip Liner in Raisin. And I've actually got this new Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink, and this is in the shade Seductress. I've never tried this before, so I'm gonna see what this looks like. It's got a really nice, kind of smells like strawberries. I actually love that lip colour, so that was an absolutely fantastic find in Boots. I'm just going to go and do my under eye and then I'll be back with another close-up and I'll show you what this looks like in the daylight too. So I've just finished doing the rest of my makeup. I did actually just put on some of the Fenty Gloss Bomb. I've never used that before. That's another thing that's new and I actually really like the way that looks as well. I think I'm just going to take you, yes, I will take you over to the window so you can see what this looks like in the daylight because I am currently using a ring light. So I'm now in the daylight and the sun is actually like blinding me. But this side obviously is the Max Factor Miracle Touch foundation and it looks amazing even in the daylight. Honestly, it looks so good. And then on this side we have the Kat Von D Good Apple foundation, which also 10 out of 10 looks unreal. Like, both sides honestly look amazing, and I do think that the Max Factor foundation is a dupe for the Kat Von D foundation. Honestly, that Miracle Touch Max Factor foundation looks exactly the same as this Kat Von D foundation. Like, it really does. Okay, so I'm back, sat down in my normal place now. I almost just got blinded by the sun just then. I also actually quickly did want to mention my eyelashes. So I think these might be my new favourite eyelashes, and they're actually by a brand called Lashology. I'm just like reading it off the packet now. But yeah, a brand called Lashology. I got the style Heartbreaker, and these were only £4 or £4.50 I think, and they are such good quality. Like, I've not actually had lashes like this before because the band is quite thick, and normally when the band is thick I'm like, oh, they're not gonna like bend to fit my eyelid, but the band is thick and really bendy and light. I don't know, it's like just different to any lashes I've tried before. So I'll leave the Instagram name and like the link to them and that brand in the description because it is a small business too, so it's obviously great to support small businesses, and the lashes are actually just unreal. So yeah, I just want to say, all in all, both of these foundations are incredible. I would recommend both of them. If you want to try something more high-end and it's more of a luxury for you, I would say, you know, try the Kat Von D foundation, why not? I've personally never tried anything from Kat Von D before, so it was like fun for me to try this. But if you are more on a budget, but you do want something that's the same coverage, that you're going to get a really similar finish from, I would say go with the Max Factor Miracle Touch. But yeah, I can definitely confirm Miracle Touch by Max Factor. This foundation is 100% a dupe for the Kat Von D Good Apple foundation. Without a doubt, they're basically the same foundation. So yeah, I think that is everything actually. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and please do subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.